Hey everyone, I'm just settling in, relaxing a bit before the show. Might even hit the heavy bag real quick before we dive in. Today on Blackbeard Logic, we're breaking down the wild hypocrisy on full display. How the so-called No Kings crowd turned around and rolled out the red carpet for the King of England, complete with multiple standing ovations. We'll show you exactly how Trump handled it, and that sharp military touch with the old school red and blue coats straight out of 1776. It was a nice nod to history. We're also covering major breaking news. A top Fauci advisor has been indicted, proving a cover-up happened, and that the very thing they covered up was real, and that being the lab origin of COVID-19. We're diving into my conversation with Perry Schumacher about the SCOTUS talk. Should Justice Thomas and Alito retire right now? I'll give you my response. Plus, my friend Charles Tuttle dropped a Facebook post calling out issues in the Bismarck public school system and caught serious heat for it. We're talking about that. I'm going to break down what happened last week with Cole Allen's attempted assassination of Donald Trump and show you a new angle you probably haven't seen. We'll look at the kind of people we're putting in power, including a must-see video of a purple-haired liberal who is completely out of her depth, yet her constituents keep voting her back in. It really feels like we're living in an idiocracy sometimes. And we're going to go deep on Minnesota with Royce White versus Tafoya. I'll share my thoughts and what every Second Amendment supporting constituent needs to be thinking about right now in Minnesota. All that and more coming up on this edition of Blackbeard Logic. Let's get it. That damn thing never plays out. It never plays out. I don't know why. I tweak it. I try to make sure it works good. It never does. Good evening, folks. It is your humble host, Leon Francis. I'm tired. You see, when you get to the end of the work week, sometimes you just don't got a lot in the tank. I'm just going to say that. But it is a beautiful Friday. And I'm here, I'm chilling actually. It's just me and my dad right now. And my dad's sitting in his chair over there, and he's happy because when I came home, I brought him a catfish plate with fries and shrimp and like all the fixings. So he's over there mowing down. You'll hear him. You'll hear him. He's like me. When I eat good food, I am vocal about it. I got all the and oh my god and oh this is so good. All of that, and I got all that from him, and he's sitting right over there. So you might you may hear him, but it's just me and him. The boy and Nick. As soon as I walked in the door, they took off. They're out having fun somewhere in Fargo. I don't know. They're like, we're done. We're out. I'm kidding, Nick. I'm kidding. But anyway, I am happy to be here with you, good folks. I am Leon Francis. I am your host of Blackbeard Logic on the Guns and the 701 network. Let me know how I sound, folks, if I need to turn my mic up or turn it down. One thing that I should absolutely never do. What do you mean gremlins there, Dan? Let me know what's going on. I think I'm like live right now. So if I am not live, someone please tell me. Gremlins? What? We don't need that. One thing that I should never do, this, is come in from work before I go and turn on my computer to talk to you good folks. The one thing I should never do is check my Twitter feed because there's all kinds of new things that I did not have in my promo that I now want to talk about. Like, it's crazy. And if you saw the promo, we got a lot for you. We got a little bit of local, a little bit of national, that sort of thing. But one thing, oh, there is a chat delay. Okay, I am live. Okay, good deal. Thanks, Dan. One thing that I saw, and it's thanks to Dan from Dan Hager TV. As soon as I open up my social media, and we're going to talk a little bit about social media today also, because I'm a little perturbed. Facebook seems to love to censor me. Uh, and when I say that, I say this like, I'll post a completely benign comment and they'll hide it. And I'll show you an example of that. I'll post one video, it'll get 1,200 views. I'll post another video and it'll get like 20, 50 maybe. And you're just like, wait. And then you have all of these ancillary things like, hey, your page isn't being recommended because it's not following our guidelines and our rules. And hey, you violated this, that, and the other thing. Only for me to go in, contest it, and then it comes back, hey, we're sorry, we did it. Like, what are you doing? Like, how's a guy supposed to grow if these kind of shenanigans are going on? And I'm not complaining, it's like I said, I never expected last year, and I started probably mid-year last year with this little live stream on the Guns in the 701 network. Thanks, Clay. And I see Clay. Thank you for this too. If you're listening, thank you for getting in there and tweaking a little bit, um, because I am really bad at, like, right today. You'll see I have commercials in there, but we have new sponsors. And if you look at the ticker that's going across there, you'll see it's Crappy Creek Feeds. That's Jason and Megan Home. And we're going to get a commercial for those guys because they deserve it. And as always, Laura Auto Repair with my good buddy Doug, who I'm going to be hanging out with, kicking the crap out of Jamie. Sit on your hands, Jamie. I'm going to say I'm restricted again as well. Can't get monetized or what? See, what's up? I open my social media and I see the dumbest things. I don't know if you've ever done this. You just go to your home page. Don't ever click on any of those. Go to your home page. It'll show you just reels. And like I have the biggest one that I have, and this is going to be funny for the folks that know me. Biggest one that I have, like it's the one I see the most. No matter how many times I refresh my page, there's an African dude in Africa, like in a grass hut, and he has this white chick, and they're like living life. They're like killing lions. They're doing it's like AI, and I'm like, what? Why are you showing me this? And the amount of scantily clad ladies that come across my feed, I'm just like, all right, come on. So these guys can get monetized. These guys can, like, they're on my page. So why am I, and the liberal crap that's on my page, but my good buddy Dan, and you got to understand, if you think like I am controversial, Dan is nowhere near me, and I don't think that I'm controversial at all. Like, when I talk, I give you my point of view. I give you facts. I try to wrap everything that I do in my biblical worldview. And I'm a Southern boy, so sometimes I get a little salty, but I'm never, like, I try to sit and think and picture when have I ever kind of crossed the line. I don't think I ever have. Yet I'm getting all these Facebook strikes and all. It's liberals, and I know that for a fact. It's liberals that come on my page because silly me. I don't believe in censoring anybody else's point of view, even if I think it's a dumbass point of view. Sorry, Daddy. Oof. Oh, he's gonna hit me with that cane. Even if I think it's an idiotic, let's just say that. Even if I think it's an idiotic point of view, I'm not a guy that will block you. I mean, you gotta do something really egregious. I mean, it's gotta be bad, and not towards me. It like towards one of my friends on Facebook. Say something just, and it's gotta be way out because you gotta remember, I'm friends with Bob friggin' Wheeler, so my buddies tend to have steel jaws, so they can take a lot. So if I ever ban you, it means that you have really stepped over that line. Really stepped over that line. So I never ban anybody because I believe that we should all be able to put our ideals and our worldviews and our points of views out there in the ether, and everybody kind of, hey, I can take a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and I can form my worldview around that. But social media platforms like Facebook, apparently they don't like that. And I thought it was going to get better under Trump because that's what that's what is the fascist boy's name? That's what he promised us. You remember? But that's not the reality of the situation. And I don't know how I got on this subject, but it just seemed, seeing Dan, he's restricted again, and I know he's a good guy. And basically, all Dan does is he finds these videos and he kind of breaks them down for you, and then he posts the video. So how does that get you restricted or demonetized? That means that they don't want our point of view, the conservative point of view, anywhere in the ether. Like they have that stupid what is it, blue, I forget what it is. That social media platform that they, all the liberals got wee weed up because Elon Musk literally said, you know what, free speech is a thing and it's back, and they were like, well, we can't deal with this. Like, that's a bridge too far. That's literally what the liberals said. And then they went over and they got some crazy left wing platform that is doing horribly. Blue Sky, that's what it is. Thanks, Dan. Blue Sky, and so they're living it up over there, and it's an echo chamber, 100% echo chamber. On my social media, it's not an echo chamber. I have conservatives, I have Republicans, I have libertarians, I have liberals. I like all walks of life. You can see them in my social media feed, and I don't censor them. If they make a comment, it stays there. I don't take it down, I don't hide it, I don't report them unless it's like just really egregious. I don't like a lot of profanity, but we're all grown men and women. The kids can't or shouldn't be on Facebook anyway. So yeah, my dad is just enjoying. I can hear him over there. It's funnier than hell. But anyway, so said all that to say this. So I get on my social media platform, Facebook, and I see just, well, Twitter first, and I see all this news. And then I hop over to my Facebook, and I see a ton of news. And then this one from my good buddy Dan, who we were just talking about, who is demonetized. And dude, um, let me know what I can do to help get a revenue stream to you. Do they need to be on like YouTube or whatever? Type it in the comments, and I'll put it out there. Because yeah, man, if some of the idiots that I've seen coming across my screen can get monetized, common sense folks like Dan Hager at Dan Hager TV should be monetized. I mean, come on now, what are we doing? But anyway, I grabbed this one from Dan, and it's about a minute and a half, 2 minutes long. So this one piqued my interest right here.
Hoax against President Trump remains the single greatest hoax and the greatest assault on our democracy in the history of this country. There's no comparison, there's no parallel to anything else. It was a coup. And I'm using that term literally. It was a coup to overthrow a democratically elected government, a coup carried out by the intelligence apparatus of this country, by the deep state, by Hillary Clinton and the Democrat Party. The new information that has been revealed by the Director of National Intelligence and by the FBI eliminates any scintilla of doubt about the intention, the premeditation, the planning and orchestration of this conspiracy. It meets all of the criminal elements of a seditious conspiracy against the United States. It meets the criminal elements of an insurrection. It meets the criminal elements of a conspiracy against the government and the criminal elements of a conspiracy to deprive citizens of their civil rights under color of law. One egregious felony after another. And because it is a conspiracy, as demonstrated by the forethought of realizing and documenting that they understood that this was fake from the beginning, meeting the mens rea standard in law. Because of that, because it is a conspiracy, every single individual actor is now part of that conspiracy. So that includes Brennan and Clapper and Comey and Hillary and Schiff and everybody else who knowingly and willfully perpetrated this plot, this coup, this conspiracy, this scheme against President Trump and the government of the United States. And now is the time and the hour and the moment for accountability so that we can...
So the reason I like seeing things like this is basically what it does is it confirms things that we already knew. Like everything that he just said is not a thing that we all did not know before. Whenever this was, well, this would be Sunday, yeah. So before Sunday, we knew all of this stuff was going on. It's like the COVID thing we're going to talk about later. We knew all of this stuff was going on, yet the bad guys just kind of got away with it, and they did. And one of the things that kind of get me down is knowing that in this Durham report, like how long have we had this thing for quite some time now, and this is a declassified appendix of the Durham report. So we've had this. Members of Congress knew about it. Nobody did anything. So what would give me any hope that something's going to be done about it now? And as you saw in my my intro there, I think one of the problems with America is we're living in an idiocracy. And I don't know if you've ever seen that movie. It's America, basically, and it's funny if it wasn't imitating real life. But basically, the country is so stupid that the one dude that got cryogenically frozen, and he came back in whatever year that was. He was the smartest dude, and he was like a nobody. He was just a regular Joe. But his IQ was higher than everybody else on basically in America, and that's where we live right now. Like, it's shocking to me because it doesn't matter what the Democrats do, their constituents will always vote for them. Always. Like, it does not matter the mountain of evidence that we have against Hillary Clinton or Clapper or Comey or any of those guys. They not only got away with it, it seems to me that no one is willing to hold their feet to the fire. No one. And we could talk to Kramer or Hovind or Fedorachek or it wouldn't even matter. It doesn't matter. It seems to me that the rules are for thee, not for me. That's the Washington way, in my humble opinion. And we are apparently okay with hiring idiots to represent us. We literally live in an idiocracy. And here, I'm going to show you something that oh my God. I hope you're sitting down. Because this woman is bad enough. The thing that's really going to cook your noodle, though, is the fact that people went out and voted for her to represent them. What does that say about her district? Check this out.
Here because you need money from us. So halt for the second and wait for the questions and answer the questions. When climate change is flooding our streets, poisoning our air, driving up healthcare and disaster costs, how can the EPA justify abandoning that duty to protect Americans to appease polluters under the false flag of economic growth?
Following the law, Section 202 of the Clean Air Act, where does it say anything about fighting global climate change? Loper-Bright, Supreme Court case, you familiar with it?
No, I maybe others are. I'm not, but let me ask you.
But that's really important. As a member of Congress, Loper-Bright says that we, as an agency, don't have the authority to get creative. If Section 202 of the Clean Air Act...
No, but you don't have, excuse me, you do not have the right to say climate change does not exist, that it's a hoax, and that's where this administration is coming from.
I understand you're upset that you don't know what Loper-Bright is. Do you know what the major policies doctrine is?
I'm upset because...
You know what the major policies doctrine is?
Let me just
You're a member of Congress. You should know.
Well, you have moved from someone who defended the environment to all of a sudden...
I'm very defensive about not knowing the two biggest landmark Supreme Court cases of the last year with regards to your question.
You are very defensive about changing your policy and your positions with regard to the environment. Okay. Now, you just tell me...
Do you want me to tell you what the two biggest Supreme Court cases are of the last few years?
This is what I want you
Michigan
to tell me.
versus EPA,
Whoa.
West Virginia versus EPA.
You know, you're here because you need money from us. So halt for the second and wait for the questions and answer the question.
Well, I answered your question,
and you
didn't like my answer because you don't know what Loper-Bright is, because you don't know what the major policies doctrine is,
Chairman,
because you're asking me about Section 202 of the Clean Air Act, and you don't.
Listen to this. Listen. So you got this guy here. What's his name? Lee Zeldin. You got Lee Zeldin here, and he's speaking 100% facts. He is cogent. Everything he says is 100% true, and it has direct bearing on his job, the office that he's holding, and all of that. And then you have Representative Rosa DeLauro, who has no idea about anything of substance. She literally looks like a escapee from a mental institution. This woman is over appropriations. People chose her to represent them. And that's what I mean. Like, when you have people making laws that are this stupid, that are this imbecilic, and again, listen to Lee Zeldin. Like, he has the actual job. She is holding the purse strings. So, it doesn't matter how cogent or how intelligent the people in these organizations that Trump is appointing are. You got idiots like Looney here, Rosa Looney. I'm just going to call her Rosa Looney. You got people like her holding the purse strings. Also, these are also the people that allow billions of dollars of grift to third world. You can totally understand now how these third worlders come over here with some of them with single digit IQs and can run $100 million grifts. I can totally see why. I can 100% see why they can do that, because this is our leadership. This woman is our leadership. That's why they can do these things. Here, I'm going to let this finish.
What it says.
Listen, and what you want to do is to deny. You want
No,
to.
I actually read the law. I do my homework.
Really?
You're just somebody who likes to have the microphone on. You know what I have to do? I read the law.
No,
I
Mr.
read the
Chairman,
Supreme
I don't
Court
have to listen
cases.
to this, and I would say
No,
this,
what you should do for your
that
constituents is actually read statute.
This budget is at real risk.
Read
Let
your
me tell
Supreme
you,
Court.
This is the Appropriations Committee.
Oh,
you come here.
You care
and
about
you
science?
tell
Now
us-
you're threatening to defund it?
Oh my God! No, you don't fund
Because
science.
you don't know what Loper
You
Bright
are
is.
climate
Because you don't know what the
deniers.
Major Policies
You are
Doctrine is. Your
climate
message
deniers.
to our folks at the EPA is that you want to
I don't
defund
have
us.
to listen to this BS.
The BS. You think I made up these cases?
Yeah, I think you have made up a whole
I made
lot of
I made
BS.
up Loper Bright. I made up West Virginia versus EPA. I made up Michigan versus EPA.
Woe is right. What are you doing? Why
Wait,
are you helping
whoa.
polluters?
We're not going to get any very far by talking on top of each other so that no one can hear. If you ask a question, you have to give the witness an
I
opportunity
do not have to
respond.
have the witness attack me. Not when he's
You
here
have
as
to
a
give the
supplicant
witness a chance
for federal
to
resources.
answer.
Look at that crazy lady. I mean, again, this is our leadership. What do you think Russia and China and all the other countries think about when they see people like this representing Americans? They know that some idiots, a lot of idiots, voted for her. Look at that. Oh my God. I can't. Dude, all right. Anyway, this was Monday. Lee Zeldin testified before the House Appropriations Committee. Oh my God. Regarding President Trump's 2027 budget request, as the Washington Examiner notes, the proposed budget would cut the agency's budget in half if approved by Congress. During the hearing, this loony chick here angrily attacked Zeldin for appeasing polluters and ignoring Americans under the false flag of economic growth. Zeldin responded by explaining that he's following the law. He's pointing out that it says nothing about fighting climate change in the law. And then he asked her if she was familiar with the Loper Bright Supreme Court case. And it's a landmark case, and it was only in 2024, which overturned the long-standing Chevron doctrine, fundamentally altering the balance of power between the judiciary and the federal agencies. Now, she had no idea, because she operates on emotions and feelings. And again, look at that. We should find every person that voted for her and have a patriotic sock party for those idiots. Again, this is our representation. She represents America. Yeah, I can't. You know what? Hey, JD, what's going on, brother? Hey, man. I cannot wait. Me and Eli are stoked because we're going to go down up, I guess, to the. You all right, Daddy? Hey, you all right? I don't know if you guys heard him grunt over there, but and fire shot out of her eyes and her face split down the middle. Yeah, that's a. You all right? You good? For the folks just joining us, I'm here with my daddy, and I brought him some catfish with all the trimmings, and he was over there happy as a pig in mud. But now he's having some issues. I don't know what's going on, and the wife and the boy, they're off gallivanting around in Fargo doing something. I don't know. I mean, what do women do when they take off and
with a kid in tow, and they got a little money in their pocket. What do women do? What do they do? Like me, if if I come home and then you don't see me for a couple of hours, all you got to do, like I have these walkies all over the house, these little bad boys here, and in my truck I have a CB radio. So, like if you don't see me, you know where I'm at. I'm on out. I built a little range out here, in the North Pasture, and it's pretty cool. And so I spend a lot of my time out there, a ton. Also, I can beat Jamie at the Hog Leg Hoot Nanny and have him model a skirt for me and old Doug while we're sitting in the hot tub laughing it up, yucking it up. I'm kidding, Jamie. I'm kidding, dude. He's gonna punch me right in the face when he sees me. I sent you a message this morning, brother. Um, but yeah, I watched Jamie's show. When was that? Yes, was it yesterday, Jamie? No, I think maybe it was Wednesday. And man, that brother, him and Scott Bachmeyer, oh, they were giving away gold and silver. And I could not. Somebody got really lucky that night. I'm just gonna say that was a hell of a show, man. Like I never in my wildest dreams have I ever even thought of doing something like that. And I looked at my wife. I'm like, damn it, Jamie, the dude is changing the the landscape right now. What are you? Wait, what? But anyway, I can't wait. I got a present for you, Jamie. When I see you, I got a present for you. So I'm gonna hit the first commercial break because I just gotta do a mental cleanse from this idiot before we dig into the show a little bit further. When I come back, I'm gonna show you a angle of that chuckle nut that tried to take a shot at President Trump. I'm gonna show you an angle you may not have seen when we come back. I am Leon Francis. This is Blackbeard Logic on the Guns and the 701 Network. We'll be right back right after this break.
Hey, it's Leon Francis from Blackbeard Logic on the Guns and the 701 Network. I'll be right back after these messages from our sponsors. Stay tuned.
When you want it done right,
go where lemons go.
Kalen's Auto Service, owned and operated by Kalen and Misty Foss, lifelong locals with over 25 years experience. From modern rides to classic restorations, they can handle it all. Top quality work, fair price, and honest hometown values. Located just one block south of Highway 12 on 6th Avenue West in Lemon, Kalen's Auto Service, serving you with all your auto repair needs.
LAUER Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at LAUER Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with LAUER, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake.
Make no mistake.
LAUER Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at LAUER Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's LAUER Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Come on, no.
Welcome back. It's Leon Francis with Blackbeard Logic on the Guns and the 701 Network. Let's get it.
You want to make me a plate of that catfish while you're up? Oh, we're live. Oh, sorry, guys. Me and my dad are jaw jacking over here. My humble apologies. So I'm Leon Francis, Blackbeard Logic, Guns in the 701 Network. just looking through some of the comments. My good buddy Jamie, we're going to be participating in the Hog Leg Hoot Nanny. I think Jamie. I think me and Axe had this discussion. I think I'm coming down on Friday. So good segue. Next week, I am going to pre-record on Thursday my Friday show. So you hear my dad over there. He's hard of hearing. So like he can see that I'm doing this. I don't think he understands it. So he talks to me, he grunts, when he stands up, he's like ah, like it's just so you'll hear him. He's like sliding stuff around, but there's nothing I can. I mean, what am I gonna do? I can't. He's my dad, and he's got a cane, and he's honorary, so he'll hit me with that thing. So as long as he's happy. Here, guys, give me 1 second. I'm gonna. Daddy, leave that. Hey, Nick will pick that up. Just leave it there. Hey, Daddy. Just leave it there. He can't hear me. I don't know. I don't. How many of you guys out there got 100-year-old parent living with you? And how fun is that? How fun is? There he goes. All right. I mean, what do you do? What do you do? Normally, I have a little help here. Normally, you don't hear him. You don't see him. Well, I think a couple of my earlier shows, maybe some of you guys saw him. But like, no. Oh, this is going to get bad. Give me a second. Oh. Daddy. Hey. Hey, leave it. Yeah. So, yeah. I don't like him on the stairs at all, but there's nothing I can do about it right now. So, and he is definitely on the stairs right now. Oh my God. What do you do? Yeah, keep on keeping on, bro. Thanks. Thanks for that. Yeah, what was I? Okay, yeah. So next week, Thursday, I'm gonna pre-record, and I will set it to automatically schedule out on Friday during the, um, usually allotted time and that sort of thing. And I'll be out at Doug's, me and Eli getting ready to whoop up on Jamie, and probably having a beverage or two and watching myself on TV. So that's going to be fun. And I'm going to stop talking schmack. I don't know. I'm just going to go out there and have fun. I'm not going to downplay my skill level though. I'm pretty good, especially like my thing. And if you know me, and Jamie will tell you this, Doug will tell you this, everybody will tell you this. I'm not the greatest with scope. My thing is iron sights. That's my thing. Is iron sights. And with a pistol, I'm pretty good. So yeah, I'm gonna go out there, do my best, and whoever gets the kitty, you know, I I just think it's going to be a really good and fun time. I know a lot of the people that are going to be going. I think Lynette is going to be cooking. That's always good because I can always eat. I am a fairly healthy boy, so I like to eat. I wish my dad. I'm hoping he does not go in that fish box and eat because I brought enough for the both of us, and now he's in there messing around in the kitchen, and I can hear boxes rattling and all of that stuff. And I'm a Southern boy. I gotta have my catfish. Like, we'll fight over that. We'll throw some bones over that. But anyway, so I'm gonna give you guys a palate cleanser from that purple haired chuckle nut right now, and I'm gonna show you the difference between sanity and insanity. Like, we saw this idiot. Here, I'll play just a little bit.
Here because you need money from us. So halt for the second and wait for the questions and answer the questions.
Now, that's a crazy lady. This is actual representation here.
Did you ever wonder how politicians get so rich? Here's something you don't hear from elected officials very often. I will never accept money from foreign governments or lobbyists, and that includes AIPAC or any other foreign interests. I fully support our allies because it's the right thing to do, and I don't need to get paid to do it. If you want to know who a politician works for, follow the money. My money comes from working North Dakotans, and that's who I answer to. I'm Alex Balaz, and I'm running to be your U.S. House Representative.
Yep. Look at the difference. And I'm going to move on. Now, and that is Alex Balaz, and he's running it against Fedoracek. Just so you know. Now, I found this clip very, very interesting. And folks, fair warning, I may have to go in there and help him get back up those stairs. I mean, he's trying. I don't know if you can hear him grunting, but he's trying. So, Daddy, that dude. But so I found this very interesting. So we all know that this California Chuckle Nut Teacher of the Year back in, I think, 2024. Oh my God, help the kids that he came in contact with if he is this crazy. But yeah, the White House Correspondents' Dinner. We saw how that played out. What you didn't, you saw everything in front of this angle. What you didn't see is this part. Now, I am not and I'm just going to preface this by saying this. I do train dogs. I have two. I have a coonhound. I have a beagle. They're pretty well trained. I'm getting a. Hang on a sec, guys. Give me 1 second here. All right. I think he's got it. Oof. Oh my God, that dude. Anyway, so this Chuckle Nut gets on a train, comes all the way to Washington. This is the White House Correspondent Dinner, and he tries to rush. I don't know. He rushed the Secret Service agents there or something for some dumb reason. Like, this is literally the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Like, this dude, by all reasonable logic, should be in a shoebox right now. It's insane. But good deal. I may do a short live stream from Doug's Saturday before. Okay, good deal, man. Let's do it. Absolutely, let's do it, man. Well, anyway, most of us have seen the angle where he's trucking through there, and I didn't even see the shotgun until the colored version came out. But this is the reverse angle. This is him coming into this area. And like I said, I want to preface this by saying I am not like a canine handler, police trained, military trained, anything like that. But I do know what a dog indicator is. I know when Bo is on something. I know when Charlie is on something. I know when they, like if we're looking for rabbits, there are things that my dogs do, and you know that there's a rabbit in the offing. You like there's no doubt in your mind, oh, we got something right now. And I'm looking at this video. This dude dropped the ball big time. Like there, and I know that there are going to be investigations. And then when you see what happened here, and there are a couple of points, I'm going to stop this video in certain points, and we're going to talk about it. But here, I'm going to run it right now. Here we go. Look at this. That's the guy. So, in case you're wondering, this guy here, that's the shooter. So, look at him and watch it. He walks in the door. Dog, boom. Look how tight that leash is. That dog knows that that guy is armed. Look at that. Pull, 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 pull. Look at that. He's pulling him back. Look at the tightness of that leash there. Now, okay, I don't know who this guy is talking to right now. But watch, the dog is going to indicate again. Boom. Right back in there. Look at that. Look at that. There's a shooter. Did you see that? The dog had him. Look at this. I'm going to walk it back. The dog had him there. And even earlier, when the guy comes through here. So here's the guy. He walks in that door. And you see he's got that big jacket on. Walks through the door. Dog's got him. Dog is instantly on this dude. Look at that. Instantly on that dude. Like, I don't know what you can't see what's going on behind that pylon there. But as you can see, the dog is on him. So the dog is doing his job. And here's the handler. I don't know what he's thinking. Your dog is indicating, dude. Look, the dog is all the way in there. And then he goes back. And this guy just kind of nonchalantly walks away. And boom, right when the guy turns around, here comes the shooter. Look at the size of that gun. Look at the size of that gun. The dog had him. Dead to rights. Dead to rights. One more time, just so you can see this. That's the shooter. He walks in the door. Dog is on him instantly. Look at that. Instantly. Handler pulls him back. Probably, sorry, sir. I don't know what's gotten into my stupid dog that is trained to sniff out firearms. I don't know. He's got a wild hair up his butt or something. You know, we trained him to sniff out firearms and explosives and things like that. So I got no idea why he is heading in your direction and he's taking an interest in you and I have no idea. I'm so sorry, sir. I don't know what he's saying to that dude, but the dog is like, dude, this dude right here. The dog can't talk. Dogs are smart, but they can't talk. That's why when you have indications like this, it is very important that you stop what you're doing and go, hey, what do you got there, Bo? What you got there, Bo? You got a rabbit? You got a coon? What do you got there? It's very important. And look, the dog goes back to the door. Handler turns around. Boom! Right out the gate, here comes the guy. Runs right past everybody. And this is something else I want you to see. I love women in law enforcement, and I think that they have a role. I don't think this is one of them. I want you to watch something. There are 3 women and 1 girly man, and they all run away. The men run towards the fight. The 3 women and the girly man, I'm calling him a girly man. There's another name, and I know he is one because he has that stupid multicolored hair. But watch what happens. There's 1 female, 2, 3 female. There's the girly man right there that just fell down, and she's trying to help him up. The dog alerted you. And Lynette, I don't know what room that is, but that is insanity. that dude, at the very least, should be out of a job. Like, he should be out of. He shouldn't even be a mall cop, that handler. His dog indicated twice. Hard. Hard. Hey, what do you got there, buddy? What do you got under that coat? That's the dog the entire time. The second that dude walked in there, you could see the dog and the handler come off the screen, beeline toward this dude. I didn't see any men run towards the. Oh yeah, they did. Here, let me show you. Well, if you saw the other video from the other angle, it's a better. Um, um, you could see it better. But if you watch here, watch this. You see that crappy dog handler? He didn't. But I'm going to let it play. There goes the shooter. Boom, boom, boom. See the guy? Here comes another guy. And now that I'm looking at this, I saw somebody poke their head out of that door. So the shooter might have interacted with someone in that. Yeah, I don't know what room that is. But yeah, there's a lot of questions here, in my humble opinion. A lot of questions that need to be answered. Oof. This was a nightmare scenario. And I don't know if these guys are secret service or I don't know, maybe just beat cops and they kind of pulled them in to do security. But this whole thing, like, one, why are they taking down these magnetometers? Like, the event hasn't even started yet. Like, if you saw the video when this was going on, they were still in there kind of jaw jacking, and that mentalist guy was doing tricks for Trump and Melania and all of that stuff. That's the beer. That's a room where the beer is stored. Huh? Oh, maybe. Jamie, come on, man. Hang on, I'm gonna take a drink quick. Anyway, but yeah, I trust me, heads are gonna roll over that. Yeah, they haven't learned a thing since Butler. This was a foo bar here. Just watching this dude in plain day walked past I don't know how many officers. The dog is the best officer there. The dog. The dog should get a medal. Everybody else should get their heads cracked. I mean, seriously. I'm going to play it one more time and then I'm going to let it lie. Look at this. There's the dude. Walks in there. Dog's like, hey, buddy. Hey, what are you doing? What do you got under that jacket? Handler's like, oh, sorry, sir. I'm sorry. Guys are taking down the thing that's supposed to indicate, if you got a firearm. Nothing has even started yet. So why is he doing that? Guy just takes off running. And we know the rest of this story. And that was a big gun. That wasn't a small rifle. Like, that was a sizable piece of armament. This 100% FUBAR. Now, all right. What if he had gotten a job as a waiter there? Well, he's not dressed as a waiter. Well, I don't know. I guess he does have that very long trench coat. I don't know, man. Soy boy scrambling away on hands and knees is the word. That's what I was saying, dude. I didn't want to use that terminology because I don't know if you like when you joined, but Facebook is having their little fun with me. Like, I am restricted every other week for like absolutely nothing. Like, the stuff that I say on my Facebook is benign. Absolutely benign. Well, let's talk about that. That's a Mossberg Maverick shoddy. Okay. Here, let me see if I can get a better look at that thing. Bear with me, guys. I just want to see this thing. Come on. Okay. Well, you can't really see it, but look at the size of that thing. That is not a small firearm there. This dude was determined. Thank God he was stopped. Yeah, that's insane. That is insane. And look at this guy. What is that guy? Well, I guess you guys can't see what I'm pointing to, but the guy that was taking down the magnetometers there. And look at that guy, the dog handler. He knows he's cooked. His goose is cooked. He knows it. He's like, damn. 20-inch barrel. Yeah, that's wow. To have that under your jacket. Wow. Like, I couldn't because I got too much meat on me. Like, they'd see that thing coming. But I did see this guy trussed up. Like, they had his handcuffs tied behind his back. And, yeah, he's got those chicken wings for arms. He is not he is not a healthy dude. Hey, Dave. What's up, brother? We're talking about stupid things that stupid people do, Dave. And I'm going to, so Dave, I want you to see this and tell me what you think. Drop it in the comments. Dog handler should be taken out back. Dog should be given an accommodation. Dog handler should be, he should have his head cracked. But here we go. There's the guy, the shooter. Dog is on him instantly. What are you doing, buddy? What are you doing? Come on. The handler's like, oh, I'm sorry. I don't know why my pup here is so interested in you. He's trained on guns and, dangerous. And then, boom, right when he turns around, here comes the guy. Dog's like, dude, I told you. I told you what was going on. Listen to the pup. Listen to the pup. Period. You know what? This is a good segue. I'm going to hit another commercial break. And then when we come back, we're going to get on a little Facebook thing. So my buddy, Charles Tuttle, he made a Facebook post. And I'm guessing, well, I'm not even going to say that. I don't think he should have worded it better or anything. He said what he said, and I'm not going to second guess the man. But the thing I want to kind of hone in on is, one, what he said was not untrue. And two, what's going on in the Bismarck public school system? There's something that we're missing there. And three, why would Facebook choose to censor comments on that thread? Leon Francis, Blackbeard Logic, Guns and the 701 Network. We'll be right back right after this break.
Hey, it's Leon Francis from Blackbeard Logic on the Guns and the 701 Network. I'll be right back after these messages from our sponsors. Stay tuned.
LAUER Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at LAUER Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with LAUER, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake.
Make no mistake.
LAUER Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at LAUER Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's LAUER Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
I am Leon Francis, and this is Blackbeard Logic on the Guns and the 701 Network. Let's get it.
Welcome back. Leon Francis, Guns in the 701 Network, and this is Blackbeard Logic. You're here with me and my pa over there, sitting in the chair, looking at me weird now, wondering what the heck is that boy doing over there. That's what he just shook his head. Yeah. So he heard me say that. He didn't hear me 100 times saying, well, I better shut up because he's looking right at me right now. I don't want to get hit with a cane live, and then I end up in Bismarck, and then, Jamie and Doug are laughing at me, and David, you got hit by your dad. Because I would definitely do that if I saw Jamie's dad punch him in the face. I'd laugh. I'm sorry. It'd be funny as hell. But anyway, I would love to know what the conversation was. Yeah. He didn't just Call of Duty a gun into it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, the dog indicated twice. And this dude is like jaw jacking with the dude that's gonna do the thing. Like, that guy should not be able to find a job anywhere in America that has anything to do with security or dog handling. They should take his dog. If he has dogs at home right now playing with his kids, Secret Service should come to his house, snatch the dogs away from his kids, and say, you are not worthy. I mean, come on now. Right, Daddy? Yeah. My dad agrees. Anyway, so here's the post. Here, give me 1 second. That's me. Here's the post that just got tons of hate. Charles Tuttle. What's wrong with this picture? Like in Highlander, there can only be one. Our kids are doing poorly because, like here, everyone gets a trophy, participation trophy. We must have competition. Without these awards have no meaning. Now, and I agree with that. And you look at the picture here, and I want you guys to really take a look at this picture. Like, take it all in, everything. Like when you're doing essay, situational awareness. Like, take in the entire thing. This is I think 40 or 45 students here. Yes, sir, David. 40 to 45 students here. Now, what you can't see here is all the comments. And I'm just going to say it. And I made a comment to this effect on here. So after he posted this, there were like, I don't know, 25, 30 comments. All of them by females. And all of those females were like just giving him grief. And I'm like, well, you can, and I guess Charles can be a little abrasive. Can we say that? Can we say that? But I didn't see what he said here as being like wrong, because they're saying congratulations to the Bismarck High School 2026 valedictorians with an S. Valedictorian is determined by students' GPA. The below students have a 4.0 or higher GPA. Amazing. But that's not true. That's not true. So I went in the comments and I posted this. There's a lot of pearl clutching in the comments here, but there is one irrefutable fact. I'm going to back up just a second. So I said that about the female commenters. Not because, women are bad or anything like that. I said that because they had an emotional response, which is fair, you know. But their whole thing was these kids worked hard. These kids did this. These kids did that. And there was this one dude, Travis Jensen, and I'm calling him out. And he's on there like, yeah, blah, 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 yeah. And I'm like, dude, you're the only dude here agreeing with this. Did you ever for 2 seconds put down your cup of estrogen and man up for 2 seconds and listen to the conversation? This is the conversation. This is what I posted. There's a lot of pearl clutching in the comments, but here's one irrefutable fact. There is only one valedictorian. That's the student who graduates with the highest academic standing in their high school or college class. The runner-up is the salutatorian, the student with the second highest GPA. There is only one, unless two students tie for the top spots. Charles is correct. Facts don't care about your feelings, neither does life, which is what we're supposed to be preparing these kids for. Now, you look at what Bismarck High School posted. Congratulations to BHS 2026 valedictorians. Valedictorian is determined by the student's GPA. The below students have a 4.0 or higher GPA. I'm going to show you what the National Society of High School Students say the definition of a valedictorian is. A high school valedictorian is the student with the highest academic standing. Typically, the top cumulative GPA in their grading class. As the top ranked student, they are traditionally honored with delivering the farewell address or the speech. I'm not going to try to pronounce that. I am going to butcher it at the graduation ceremony. So, Travis, sipping on his, cup of estrogen and was agreeing to a false premise. Now, I don't take anything away from these kids. None. If you got a 4.0, man, right there all day long. Are you a valedictorian? No, you're not. You're not. So Charles's analogy to this being a participation trophy, that's true. There is only one valedictorian. Now, way back 152 years and 3 days, when I was in high school, they would add up your cumulative GPA, and if there were two people with like the same GPA, they go back decimal points, like point blah 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 whatever, and that's how you would do it. You could lose the valedictorian and become the salutatorian by 1 decimal point. That's how they did it. And I saw in the comments all of these moms, and they were upset, and then they started saying things like, well, some of it is like AP classes and extracurriculum and all. Well, all of that's still true. All of that is still true. The student with the GPA that is the highest, and they did AP classes, and they did the extracurriculum, and they washed windows, and they buffed out cars, and whatever they did to get that top spot, they got it. They were the hungriest. That's what competition is all about. That's what I couldn't get Travis to understand. Men are about competition. We are competitive beings. So you getting all in your feels, but he's a Rob Port supporter, so, that says everything you need to know about old Travis. But the fact of the matter is, again, these students, they deserve to be recognized because, let's face it, Bismarck is not doing great in the academics department. So these kids with a 4.0, that's a good thing. That is a reputable achievement. It should be lauded. It should be congratulated, but with a separate accommodation. Everybody is not the valedictorian. There is only one. The runner-up is the salutatorian. Everybody else are they're really good students. Have a ceremony for them, have an accommodation for them, but they are not valedictorians. This is the definition. The student with the highest academic standard. The student. Now, a lot, and on my page, there were tons of comments, tons. Like it just, they would stop. And I'm going to show you the comment that I got censored for. I want you to check this out. Hidden by Facebook right there. The person with the highest GPA, how is this hard? And it got hidden by Facebook. Now, maybe I'm just salty and I'm used to raucous language, and maybe in that comment I said something that is out of the norm for regular folks to say, and Facebook was like, you know what, we can't be having this. Look at my comment. So my first comment is, there's only one valedictorian, that is the student who graduates with the highest academic standard, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Charles is correct. Nancy says he's not correct. Too many kids are taking dual credit courses, blah, blah, blah. Hard to distinguish who is the exact. Nope, that's called math. That's that is called literally math. That's what that is. It's hard to distinguish. No, it's math. That's what it is. And so I said, and she's giving me all this stuff, AP, dual credit, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, the person with the highest GPA, how is this hard? Boom, hidden by Facebook. Elizabeth B. Powell comes right back in there, and I love this. Simple solution, have a separate recognition for the students with the 4.0 for the last 4 years. Also recognize the valedictorian and the salutatorian. Unless there's a tie, then recognize both. Now, that's common sense to me. That's common sense. And again, so you don't think that I just beat up on females, because I love females. My wife's one, and I love her to death. When she comes in here, I'm going to grab her. Well, you know. But the fact of the matter is, there are way too, like, the amount of moms in these comments that were butthurt because Charles said, no, there can only be one. I called out a Karen. Yeah, and I guess that's not allowed. I don't know. I guess it's not allowed. But I also want to show you something else, because this was eye-opening to me. This is School Digger, and I have to be careful how I say that. School Digger. Boom. Right here. Look at Bismarck High School. And these are from 2025. The math at 26%. 26%. Look at the reading. It's better, but it's only 55%. And as you can see down here, North Dakota does not publish exact assessment percentages. Instead, results are reported as ranges. So between 20 and 29% to protect student privacy and smaller groups, that sort of thing. Now, look at the science. 34. 34. Those are the test scores. That should be concerning to anyone sending their kids to Bismarck High School. And I dug like down. And I'm just going to say this, not going to spend a ton of time on it, but I want to show you. You remember what I said? Take a look at these kids. Good look at them. Now, I'm going to say something that's going to be a bit controversial. I could see these kids doing really, really well. But then when you mix in the other kids who are not North Dakotans, I can see how overall, I can see it. There's a direct correlation. And until we recognize that, we can be nice about it, and we can be real about it. Look at those kids, and I'm going to move on. Show you this. Bismarck High School 2024 through 25, North Dakota's new accountability test used in 2025 NDA+. Sophomores took the NDA+. There were 342 sophomores at BHS last year. There are 316 juniors this year, according to certain DPI records. In English, they were 49% proficient. 49. Only 6% of them were advanced. Let that sink in. In math, 19% proficient, 7% advanced. In science, 25% proficient, 9% advanced. 90 to 95% of the sophomores took the test. That should be a bigger concern. No, Daddy, it's just me and you. My dad, he's looking for people. Sorry. Hang on a sec. That's your room. Go around the corner. Okay. I think we averted a disaster. Either that or he found the fridge and he's sitting there with the door open, going to town on my fish. Anyway, but that's my paw. He can do what he wants. Anyway. But instead of being upset at the post that Charles made that is 100% factual, be more pissed off that this is what, and again, I look at those kids, and I know that there's a lot of good, solid students in the Bismarck High School. I know that. I know some of them. But we are mixing in kids from other countries, from other areas, and they are bringing your cumulative scores down. They're bringing them down, all in the name of woke and inclusiveness. And that's all I'm going to say about that, because I don't want people being dumb. Yeah, Axe is a hound dog. Axe is a Bo. He's sniffing it. He's on the scent. He's on it. Get it, Bo. Let's go. Come on, Bo. Now, Axe, don't say anything else. I don't want to get kicked off. But yeah, again, let's go ahead and you guys go on Digger, School Digger. Go on Digger, and you'll see how it all breaks down. You can actually see the demographic breakdown. Add those percentages up. Tell me what you find. Let's move on. Anyway, let me see. Where am I at? Hour 19. Okay. So, let's hit this No Kings thing quick, and then we'll go to break, and then I'll come back with the SCOTUS. So, we all know that liberals are disingenuous by nature. Like, they have no principles. They waffle. they change out their signs and what they believe in. Whenever George Soros tells them, this is what we're doing now, this is what they're doing now. So we all remember, not a month ago, it was No Kings. We had two No Kings events. Like 1 month, they had a big No King thing, and then they waited for a month because they were protesting ICE. And then they came right back and No Kings, No Kings, No Kings. And then an actual king came here. So if you've been following it, King Charles, whose great 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 grandpappy we kicked back across the pond because we didn't want any truck with his taxes and him, doing the stupid crap that he was doing. Bunch of plucky patriots said, you know what, we're about done, and you're about done. Like we're not, yeah, we're done. The whole, Declaration of Independence back there. We're like, we're done, and this is why. And we named the whys. We named them. And then we picked up arms, and we were like, get. And they got. So we had them come back, and the folks that were like, no kings, no kings, no kings. This is what they look like. You notice here that these are all Democrats in the red here. And you remember when Trump gave his speech, like these idiots wouldn't get out of their seat for any. They didn't cheer for the veteran who got shot up flying the helicopter, and he was shot up, and he still flew the helicopter, and they didn't stand for that. They didn't stand for the Gold Star moms. They didn't stand for Ariana Zarutska's mom because that idiot did what he did because a judge allowed him back out on the street with clear mental. They didn't stand for any of that, but they stood for the king. These are the no king people, and they stood for the king. Here, give me a second. Here they are, right here.
Members of Congress, I have the high privilege and distinct honor of presenting to you His Majesty Charles III.
Ilhan Omar. Look at all these Democrats. All standing up. So how does that grab you? How does that grab you? I'm gonna take one more break, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna unpack this a little bit, and then we're gonna talk about the Supreme Court. In this speech, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna say a couple of things because I'm running. I got like 3 more topics to hit, 4 more topics to hit, and I got about a half an hour left to hit them. So, in this speech, King Charles he quoted Donald Trump when Donald Trump was in London, like, I don't know, a month or 2 ago, whenever it was. He quoted Donald Trump and got a standing ovation. Like, he didn't say, I'm quoting Donald Trump, but he just quoted Donald Trump. And they stood up and clapped. So it shows you it's not what's said, it's who says it. It is just in these people's sick, twisted, and demented minds, it's all orange man bad. They have no principles. None. None to speak of. Trump, to his credit, I love this. We're going to play this, and then this came from a friend of mine, Corey Clark. This is how he rolled out the red carpet for King Charles.
It won't take long to get that right.
See the lobster backs back there. They're not American boys. That's classy right there. I love that all day long. I could watch that all day long. I just thought that was a nice touch. on that. So we're gonna I'm gonna hit this break. We're gonna be right back right after this. I'm gonna go check on my daddy. I haven't seen him in about 3 minutes, so I don't know what he's doing back there. So I'm gonna go check on my fish, check on my daddy, Leon Francis, Blackbeard Logic, Guns in the 701. We'll be right back right after this break.
Okay, let's go.
I am Leon Francis of Blackbeard Logic on the Guns and the 701 Network. Let's get it.
Anvil Brand LLC, raising and training tomorrow's barrel horses right out of Bismarck, North Dakota. Tracy and her family are great American patriots who not only support the Second Amendment, but they also promoted what you're looking for, top quality barrel horses. Go ahead and give Tracy a call at 701-471-6629 and tell them Guns and 701.com sent you. That's Anvil Brand LLC out of Bismarck, North Dakota.
At Horton Laser Craft, we believe in the power of personalization. Whether it's a cherished memory, a special occasion, or a unique gift, our custom laser engraving brings your vision to life. Our expert craftsmen and state-of-the-art technology ensure every piece is a work of art. From personalized decor to one-of-a-kind keepsakes, Horton Lasercraft makes every moment unforgettable. Visit HortonLasercraft.com today and start crafting your perfect gift. For more info, email them at HortonLasercraft@yahoo.com or call them up at 605-545-7535. Horton Lasercraft, where memories are engraved.
T-shirts tucked in, know my worth, can't tell me nothing. White Nikes, albino, pink cop my stilo, head to the top, bottom line is a motto.
Welcome back. It's Leon Francis with Blackbeard Logic on the Guns and the 701 Network. Let's get it.
So I do want to hit on these topics pretty quick. So here we go. Let me get that out of there. I want to hit these topics pretty quick. One of the things I saw heading in was the Senate report alleges FDA silence COVID vaccine safety warnings. So that was Senator Ron Johnson. He released 2 days ago details of how the FDA officials ignored 2021 analysis of VAERS data, which flagged risk like heart issues, strokes, and deaths linked to COVID vaccine. Now, if you guys don't know, I gave a testimony in Bismarck because I believe that my mom was a victim of this. I do, and she had a blood clot. She got turbo cancer, and we lost my mom 2 Thanksgivings ago. No, 1 Thanksgiving back. So about a year and a half ago, we lost my mom. That's why my dad is here with us. But she never smoked a day in her life. She got lung cancer. They thought they had it. It came back like unbelievably aggressively, and it just pretty much ate her up. And like it was a turbo cancer, and then she had massive blood clots and like all of the hallmarks. I'm not going to get into it. You're going to see me cry, and I'm not going to do that. But anyway, these people, FDA officials ignored VAERS data, which flagged those risks. She had a tool, this doctor, and I can't pronounce her name. I'm not even going to try. But it reveals signals hidden by high volume, high report volumes. But she was ordered to stop. She lost access to her page. She saw her reports halted. The findings were based on over 600 pages of records. So obviously, senators like Rand Paul want answers. I want answers. You all right, Daddy? No, sir. You got a headache? You're fine, Daddy. You're at home. Good night. Oh, maybe this wasn't such a good idea. Maybe I should have just postponed this thing. He'll be back in here a couple of times. My dad has dementia, so he more than likely he'll be back in here asking me if I'm all right. Is everything okay? You know, he's got a headache. He wants to lay down, but he doesn't want to lay down and leave me up. And somebody breaks in the house, and that sort of thing. He's that dude. Anyway, and I preface that because I saw that today. Um, but what you guys probably already know, something that Blondie was slow walking, and it defies logic. Why? Because we're running up against a deadline to prosecute Fauci for things, and I definitely wanted to touch on this. Pressure on DOJ to prosecute Anthony Fauci grows after advisor is indicted with days left to charge. Yeah, my dad, he is pretty awesome. He's ornery. He thinks and he is. If you know me, you know this. My dad is still the boss of me, to put it frankly, because he's my dad. I wouldn't be here without him. So, if he tells me something, like if it's not just crazy, I'm gonna do it. And I love the dude. And like right now, again, if you joined us late, it's me and my dad in here now. Nick and my son went to, I think, a graduation party or something. They said something as they were running out of the house, and I'm like, wait, I got a show to do. What are you doing? But I brought him some catfish, and he ate, and I guess he has a headache, and he just doesn't want to leave me up by myself. Like he's 152 million years old, dude. And he does not want to leave me up by myself because in his eyes I'm little Leon, you know. So you gotta love that. Anyway, the indictment of Dr. Fauci's former advisor David Morin Tuesday revived calls for the Justice Department to prosecute Fauci himself for lying for. Now we all knew that this dude was lying. Like there was not a sane person on the planet that did not know that they lied and covered up everything. This dude, and again, this is something that I've been saying for quite some time. People put way too much faith and credit in FOIA. FOIA requests are great for the low level people. But when you're talking Fauci, Hillary Clinton, people of that caliber, a FOIA ain't going to do crap for you because it's so easily circumvented. Like all a FOIA does is grab all of the official communications. So if they're talking on their government issued phone or emails sent between them and things, but if you got a burner phone or a phone that the government doesn't know about, or if you just pick up your daughter's phone and use that to call, a FOIA isn't going to do you any good at all. And this guy had a whole, he was like, he wasn't as bad as Hillary Clinton, but he had a Gmail account that they were collaborating on. And then he deleted it all when it was subpoenaed. This dude did. Like, we all knew. We all knew that that COVID didn't come from, what are they called, penguins or whatever they were, the big bats, because they were over 100 miles away. It didn't come from them. It came from Wuhan, where they have a virology lab in that city of Wuhan, in that city. And this lab had a history of leaks. And we know that Dr. Fauci was funding gain of research, illegally funding gain of function research at that lab. And again, this is not my first time saying this. We also know that that Chinese general, because everybody was dumping on China, and there are 100 million reasons to dump on China. I don't believe that this was one of them. That general said this was not a Chinese thing. This was an American thing. He said that, and they killed him. He was dead within days of making that announcement. Live on, I watched this dude on TV say that, and it has been memory hold. You cannot find that video anywhere. I remember watching it. And nobody else is talking about that. Nobody. You can go to The Blaze. You can go to Nick Shirley. You can go, pick your conservative person. Not a single other person except for me is saying that. Because I remember it like it was yesterday. Fauci is an evil dude. He always has been an evil dude. It was the highest paid government official. She was the paid government official. About that. We all know the stories about I have a beagle right outside right now. And I'm a guy, but they're cute dogs. I mean, when you hear Bo braying, you're like, oh, Jesus. When you hear Charlie braying, you're like, that's the cutest thing I've ever heard. And what this evil, sadistic bastard would do is they do experiments on these dogs. Fauci did. And they would cut their vocal cords so you don't have to listen to them screaming. Think about that. This dude is evil. And my fear is he'll never be brought to justice. I want you to see something. This is 40 years of Fauci. Here's 1980. Fauci leads NIH and begins to use PCR tests. Again, these PCR tests, whole nother show. Whole nother show. These things that they use, the amount of propaganda that was used during the whole COVID thing is on a scale that makes what the Germans did look like tiddlywinks. You guys don't understand. Or maybe you do. I mean, you're fans of mine, so, Leon, in doing home health care and specializing in dementia, you're simply doing I don't know about that. I do what I can. Like, I'm a knuckle. Look at these knuckles. Where's the camera? Look, I'm a knuckle dragger. I'm a Luddite. So I do what I can. My wife is the saint. I mean, she's a saint. Like, sometimes, and this kind of sucks, sometimes I have to put my foot down because my dad will get in the mood, and I'll just have to. And I hate it. Like, you ask my wife, I'm like, I got to check out after I have to do it. Hey, nope, you're not doing that. No, you're not talking to my wife like that. Nope. No, you're going to take a bath. No, you're going to let us help you. You know, I've had to literally, because we kept missing doctor's appointments, and I'm just going to take 2 seconds on this, Lynette. We had missed multiple doctor's appointments because my dad had just dug in. He's like, he wasn't leaving the house. He's just not going. And we're like, we have to know what's going on with him. And we kept, and the doctor here couldn't make a house call. That's the once we tried twice, and he just kind of sat in his week. No, I'm not going anyway. You can't make me. Well, what are you gonna do? We're like, well, what are we gonna do? Tried to get a doctor to come out. They don't do that sort of thing. So I had to pick my father up, cradle him as he's fighting me. Like, dude is fighting me. I had to pick him up and, like a baby, basically, take him out to my truck. Eli opened the door. I put him in the truck. Once he was in the truck, he's fine. Once we got to the doctor's office, he's fine. It's just getting him out the house. It's like, you have no idea. Unfortunately, nothing will happen. Yeah, Fauci was involved in the AIDS. Yeah, we're going to get to that. PETA doesn't even want his. You're right about that. So Fauci started that whole using of the PCR test to get false positives, which happened in the COVID thing exponentially. 1984, Fauci starts AIDS research with funding from Merck and other big pharma companies. In 85, Fauci pushed deadly drug AZT. This was a big one for AIDS experimental vaccine using PCR false positive. And this is the dude they had all over the news. He was the expert, and we knew this. He had done the whole COVID PCR false positive things way back in 85. Dug in like an Alabama tick, yep, a Louisiana tick, Madison Parish tick. But Fauci, the amount of homosexuals that this dude basically murdered, and I'm probably kicked off of YouTube and Facebook now, so what, I guess. But if you look at this dude, 2015, funds University of North Carolina gain of function research on coronaviruses. In 2009, he pushed swine flu panic and used PCR false positives and phony reports to get emergency use approval, just like he did with COVID. He funds coronavirus research at the Wuhan lab in China, sidestepping Trump. And what you guys don't understand is Obama had actually put a stop to this dude because gain of function is illegal in the United States. And then Obama, to his credit, found out that Fauci was doing this. And this shows you how powerful these pharmaceutical companies are. This shows you. Obama put a stop to that. And Fauci secretly funded more of them here in the United States. In Ukraine, there were like 15 of these labs. And in China, in Wuhan. In 2019, Fauci helped ban other meds like hydroxychloroquine and ivermectin from being used to fight COVID. And in 2020, he pushed to get at least 28 COVID vaccines and boosters approved for emergency use with the help of PCR false positives. I hope they get this guy. I do not have the highest trust or faith that he will get his just desserts, This dude should be strung up. He is a monster. He is Frankenstein on steroids. And that's all I'm going to say about that. I want to move to SCOTUS. So, my good friend Perry Schumacher, I do the show, the Due North Political Podcast with him. I'm one of the guys of four, but he asked me to come in and do open range with him, and we did a whole hour on a host of topics, but um, one topic was SCOTUS, whether or not Thomas and Alito should step down now and give Trump two more nominees so they would serve longer and keep the court kind of balanced out and that whole thing. And I channeled my buddy Michael Coachman in my response. This was my response to that question, and I'm gonna play that now as soon as I find it. Jeez, I hear Bo out there. I don't know if you guys can hear that. So somebody must have just pulled up outside. Good God, I hope my dad's not out there. Oh, that would just be not great. But here we go.
Reviewing, people have been talking on our side whether we should have convinced Justice Thomas or Justice Alito to retire early while Trump is still in office so that he can name their replacements. And I point that out because Ruth Bader Ginsburg, if you remember, during the Biden, or I think that was during Trump, the first term, she held on a little too long. They wanted her to retire right during Obama's years. She held on a little too long and then passed away finally. And Trump got to name her replacement, and that was the deciding vote in Roe, the Roe decision. So it came back to haunt the Democrats that Ruth Bader Ginsburg held on a little too long. I don't know that there's a right or wrong answer to this. I just want to see where you come down. Should they retire or continue as they are? Because they're excellent justices.
So I'm going to channel my buddy Michael Coachman on this, and I'm just going to point to this document right here. Remember, Michael was really big on that. I don't think that they should retire. Not for strategic timing anyway. Even with a strong president like Trump, I'm an originalist. We talked about this before. As a originalist, I take Article 3, Section 1 in this document here seriously. Federal judges shall hold their office during good behavior. The framers designed lifetime tenure precisely to shield the judiciary from electoral pressure and from short-term political calculations. They rejected the term limits and mandatory retirement because they understood human nature and the temptation to turn the court into another political branch. Encouraging our best originalists to step down now would validate the very living constitutionalist cynicism that we oppose. People like me oppose anyway. Ginsburg's choice to stay on until the end was hers under the Constitution. It produced the correct outcome in Dobbs, returning abortion to the states, per the text, and the history of the 14th Amendment. But the lesson is not to play the game better. It's the further we drift from the original intent, the more problems we create. All men are created equal is the self-evident truth at the heart of our declaration. We failed to live up to that. We compromised, and over 600,000 American lives were lost to course correct. And another example, the 3/5 clause. It was a flawed compromise. And with that principle, we now see Democrats recycling that same twisted logic with illegals for redistricting power. And you just look at society today. We wandered so far from God's original intent and original design that we can't even define what a woman is. We tolerate abortion on demand. We mutilate children in the name of health care. God will not be mocked. The founders rooted this republic in truth, in morality, in common sense, and biblical understanding of human nature. And when we rebuild with a twisted logic, when we rip and mend with that twisted logic, when we compromise, when we play political games with zero regard for the original intent, the entire structure becomes unstable. And the crux of my argument is just that the remedy for the broken compact and all of that is not it. I mean, it's not the like political gamemanship. It's fidelity to the text, recovery of the moral foundation, and a people determined to keep this republic, or we do the other thing. Like I made a couple of examples. Like whenever we deviate from the original intent, the text of the Constitution, it goes really, really badly. Uh, First instance of this was all men were created equal, and then we had to have a war where over 500,000 Americans died, the Civil War, to make sure that we held to the text. And then, all of the fights that we had throughout our country's youth were all points where we deviated from the text, the plain text of the document. We deviated. And if you guys saw me stand up, what said, I said, "Oh, I hear Bo out there." That happened. My dad had opened that door, and so Bo was letting me know again why you should always listen to your pup. If your pup is going nuts, or if your pup is indicating, or your pup is doing the thing that it's bred to do, you should always have an ear out for that, because that's what he was doing. He had the door open. He was poking his head outside. Bo knows, hey, you're not supposed to be out here, so he's not gonna like attack my dad or anything. Like he's just letting me know, hey, hey, hey. The original Leon is, he's got his head poked out the door, and so I had to go and tell my dad, hey, no, no, no. He was looking for his room. But anyway, my entire mindset on this is no, we don't do that. We start tinkering with things like this. It's not good. What we should do, like when we got away from the original intent of the Bible, and you see how that's going. I mean, we got Royce says this best, and this will go right into that subject. I got two more subjects here. I think I'm going to hit the Royce versus Tafoya now, because he kind of says it plain. And if you know who Royce White is, like I'm a friend of his. We text, we talk on the phone. He has a show on OAN, I think it is, maybe Newsmax. I'm drawing a blank on that. He also does this, where he does the podcast and all of that. And I love the way his mind works. He's a man's man, like he's a no BS type person. He says exactly how he feels, and I love it. And some people can't handle that. Some people are just, they need someone to whisper sweet words in their ear, even if they know they're lying to them. They would prefer that. I don't. Give it to me straight, 100%, no chaser. That's what I like. And so that's why I chose this clip that I'm going to play about Royce, and it kind of ties into this, because you get away from the original intent of the good and the holy and the common sense. It's like I said in that clip. You start tinkering with the foundation that undergirds our society. And that's what Democrats have done, and Republicans have allowed them to do. It becomes unstable. That's why we see what we see today. You can have ultimate freedom, but if it's not undergirded with some kind of fidelity and moral foundation, ultimate freedom looks like chaos. It's an ugly, ugly thing. Societies will break over that. And we can't do it. Like, again, I made this point because Perry used the Ginsburg example. Like, liberals wanted her to retire. And she's a liberal, but she held to the original intent of our founders. It is a lifetime appointment. Unless you cannot do the job, it is a lifetime appointment. Had she not done that, we wouldn't have gotten the Roe decision overturned. So we gritted it out. She did the right thing. And now there is a serious conversation about doing the exact thing that the Democrats wanted to do. And I'm like, whoa, pump the brakes. Absolutely not. And Axe, you're right. I'm scared we wouldn't get anywhere near as good as those two, especially Clarence Thomas. And I love that dude. I love Alito too. Those are the two most. Those dudes are solid. And to get like an Amy Coney Barrett or Kavanaugh oh my God, that would be horrible. Anyway, I'm going to play this Royce clip, and then we're going to talk a little bit about Royce and versus Tafoya and the difference there, and my fears in that race. Here we go.
President Trump should never even consider giving the government back to these people. He should never even consider it. And all of us should get comfortable with that idea that we never give the government back to. You don't give your country, your nation back to people who fundamentally don't believe in having a country or a nation. The universal standard of having a nation is two basic things. You have a border and you don't cut your son's penises off. It's kind of the universal standard of having a nation. A nation that survives, that thrives and prospers is you have a border that you control. You control the flow of traffic, the people who are coming and going. You have an account of who is in your country. You have a border, and you don't cut your son's penises off.
There you go. There you go. There are things that are foundational. And I like cutting your son's penis off. That is metaphorical, but because of how crazy the left is, it's also an actual thing. It's not just metaphorical. Like Rush Limbaugh used to talk about the emasculation of our boys. Susan Summers wrote a whole book about it. Pete Hegseth wrote a whole book about it. And the sad thing is, because Royce is a straight shooter, I don't think he's going to be, there are way too many people who are way too comfortable with squishy Republicans, with rhinos. And rhinos have more money. If you listen to his podcast, just so you know, Royce was a NBA player who would not take the COVID jab. He stopped flying on airplanes because we were woke. I don't fly on airplanes. They called him crazy. And he's like, I'm not getting on an airplane. We had planes that basically had duct tape on them. I mean, I'll post some pictures and videos. We had planes because they were doing the whole DEI thing that had unqualified. I'll just say, I'm not going to put a gender on it. I'm not going to put a race on it. I'm not going to couch it in anything like that. I'm just going to say, under DEI, we had unqualified people who were only qualified because the woke left said that they are the greatest people on the earth and you can't say anything bad about them. An example of this is Ketanji Brown Jackson. When our president unbelievably said that Supreme Court pick would be a black woman. Now, imagine Donald Trump saying, my Supreme Court pick will be a white woman or white man, bar none. Imagine the outrage. Imagine the outrage. Joe Biden just said it. And that's discrimination. That means that qualified people don't even get a shot. It's not a meritocracy. And we see what a garbage justice. Like, her arguments are gibberish. Like, straight up gibberish. She didn't even know what a woman was. You remember that? The craziest. So Roy said, I'm not flying on a plane because DEI, all that, they called him crazy. If you listen to him, this dude is deep. Like, when I first started listening to him, and I had an hour-long conversation with this dude. This dude is smart. He's smart. He came to Minot, and he gave a speech out there. He doesn't need a teleprompter. He doesn't need notes. He speaks from the heart. He's a patriot, 100%. In the ghetto, we have a saying called 10 toes down. That means I'm here for it. And that's this dude, 10 toes down for the Constitution, for this country. You see the hat he's got on, Make Minnesota Great Again? He believes that. He also did a stint as a MMA fighter. He trains. Like, this dude is a man's man, and he shoots straight, which is exactly the reason why the elites in the Minnesota Republican Party don't want him. They want Michelle Tafoya, a Johnny-come-lately, a liberal, a pro-choice conservative. If you can believe that there's such a thing as a pro-abortion Republican. She's also not a Second Amendment person. She believes in red flag laws. Like, the contrast, there couldn't be a bigger contrast between Michelle Tafoya and Royce. Here is a breakdown, because, this is the guns in the 701. So, this is a direct comparison between them when we're talking about the Second Amendment. Royce White, no infringement. It's an absolute right, which is what many of us believe. Tafoya, pragmatic support with regulations. As a matter of fact, her core position, she supports the Second Amendment, but positions herself as pragmatic rather than absolutist. So she lost me there. She has endorsed gun control measures, especially in response to mass shootings or threats. Again, that's an emotional response, which is why you don't want emotional responses. She called red flag laws the most sane response to mass shootings. She compared gun regulations to traffic laws, treating firearm ownership like driving privilege and can be regulated for safety. Do you believe that? Royce White strongly opposes anything that infringes upon your Second Amendment rights. His core position is the Second Amendment is an absolute, uninfringible constitutional right. It serves as a critical safeguard against government tyranny and protects the individual liberty. That's a direct quote from him. Here's another one. The Second Amendment is a constitutional right that can never be infringed upon. It is one of the most important political mechanisms to safeguard the freedoms of citizens in this country. He strongly opposes any new restriction, and that's red flag laws. In particular, he was referencing there, and frames them as a rhino or anti-Second Amendment behavior. His view is originalist, that the right exists primarily as a check on power, not subject to balancing tests, or common sense regulations. That's Royce's position. Like, it is night and day to me. And just an aside, but still on topic, the Guns in the 701 Network was contacted by Tafoya's representative. And us being, Second Amendment guys, we were like, okay, so what's her stance on the Second Amendment? Oh, blah, blah, blah. They didn't really want to talk. And I heard this woman on a conservative radio station, not going to mention any names, with a conservative radio host, not going to mention any names. And I heard a caller call in and ask her about her stance on life. And I heard this conservative radio host kind of guide her through it. It was probably one of the most disgusting things I'd ever heard. He guided her through the minefield that she created by being a pro-abortion, pro-choice Republican. And that's what you're getting in Minnesota. That's why she announced, and all of the political pundits, from Fox News all the way across the board, were like, rah, rah, Michelle Tafoya. It's because she's soft, she's malleable, and she will bend. I'm going to say this. I'm going to piss some people off, but night is young, The last convention that I went to, I had a good friend of mine, in the radio game, and a couple of good people, good friends of mine, who I started the North Dakota Tea Party caucus with. Solid, I thought, Republicans. And we had on our rules committee a very strongly worded pro-life measure. And all of these people attempted to talk me into talking to my people in my district and the people I had influence with to get this voted out because they thought it was too strongly worded. And then come back on the radio show that they were doing and then talk about the convention. So obviously I did not go back and talk on that radio station about the convention because I'm again 10 toes down pro-life. We don't kill babies. What's hard about that? Who's backing her? Oh, pretty much everybody, including the Minnesota GOP. Everybody's backing her. Which is why our country is in the state that our country is in. It's right there. The guys with grit, the guys with money, the guys that can pay for the propaganda to get out to the masses who are by and large idiots. And that's just my humble opinion. We have way too many dummies in this country. who don't understand what that document back there says, or what that book right there. Where am I at? Right there. With that book. What's in that book right there? We have way too many people that have no idea what uninfringible rights are, what inalienable rights are, what this country was founded on, what morals even look like now. We don't kill babies, period. So when I see a friend of mine who is now a senator up there talking down a bill that was the strongest pro-life thing to ever come out of North Dakota, probably the country, talking it down, I know what it's all about. It's about money. You do that, and the national pro-life movement loses the control opposition aspect of the grift. And that's what it's all about. You can't have a boogeyman if you get rid of the boogeyman. You can't capitalize on the boogeyman if you get rid of the boogeyman. You need the boogeyman. Why do you think the Southern Poverty Law Center and the ACLU and all these people pay bigots to be bigots? Why do you think that happens? We talked about that on Open Range also. Why do you think that happens? It happens because if there's no bigotry, then they don't have a revenue stream. They need it. They need it. They needed instigators at January 6th. They needed it because they can capitalize on it. Did you know the Southern Poverty Law Center has almost $1 billion in offshore accounts? Did you know that? How did they get that money? By fooling people so that they believed there were bigots behind every corner. They staged and manufactured all those riots. It's what they do. They need it. It's a grift. Same thing with the national pro-life movement. Oh man, I'm talking out of school now. Oh, I'm losing friends. Oh, I don't give a damn. I don't care. What I saw at that convention disgusted me. I should have known something. And this was not this convention, but the last one, the one before this one. Oh, I bet my dad locked all the doors. Oh, no. Nick and Eli are back. But I should have known something when we're walking up to the convention and they're handing out these clear plastic bags. And I'm like, what is this for? What's going on? Oh, you can't have, we have to be able to see what, you're carrying in. Wait, what do you mean by that? Because obviously I'm armed everywhere I go. You can't be armed in there. Wait, what? We're the Republican. we are the Second Amendment. What do you do? What? But because I was a delegate, I went and put my hog leg up, go in there, and I didn't get 10 feet in the door and I'm being pulled aside on this abortion thing. And I'm like, why the hell would I do that? What part of shall not be infringed? Do you not understand? What part of we do not kill babies do you not understand? But again, you understand it if you understand the grift. They need it. It's why a guy like me will never be as successful as I could be. I see the controlled opposition. I see it. Because I have so many friends in this industry. I see it. I see how profitable controlled opposition is. It's why people like Royce, and I hate to say it, so I'm not even going to put it out in the ether. But he should be representing Minnesota, not Michelle Tafoya. You know what her representative did when our representative said, well, because they wanted to give us a list of questions, pre-approved questions. And our representative said, nuts to that. And we take comments live. He got a dial tone. Yeah, that's a little too much honesty there. People like being lied to. And I honestly believe that people like being stupid. They like it. It's like I told you, I used to have a good friend in Enderlin. Trump supporter. Big MAGA flag. All that. And then I go to his job site, new job site, and it's all Mexicans. None of them speak English. And I'm like, what's going on here? Republican in name only. They love controlled opposition because it's profitable. Just like the Democrats. Just like with the whole bigotry in the Southern Poverty Law Center and the ACLU and the FBI coming out and saying the biggest problem in America is white boys. That's basically what they said. And we bought it. And then all of these NGOs, like the Southern Poverty Law Center, started paying bigots to go out there and do bigoted things. So they could point to him and go, hey, right there, there's a bigot. We saw the khakis. We saw the polo shirts. We knew. People cry for freedom and beg for social. 100%. They have not been taught anything in schools but indoctrination. 100. Why do you think I homeschool Eli? He will not have that mentality. And the sad state of affairs is I'm training him because I know the fight's coming. I know the actual fight is coming. I want it in my lifetime. I do. But I think they're slow walking it to make it as palatable to as many people as possible. Democrats and Republicans. And just so you know, you don't get a straight talking Republican like Alex Balaz or Matt Simon or Royce White. You're getting a rhino. And they are lying to you. They're lying to you. They're going to do their photo ops. They're going to have fields of crop, corn, and all that behind them. And they're going to be posing with a photo op with cattle and ranchers and farmers and all. They're going to do all that stuff to keep the blue hairs on board with the GOP. All of them rhinos. The guy that's going to tell you these things are bad and these things are coming, they'll never get the platform. Because once you realize that, the rhinos can't grift anymore. If they have to actually do something to stop the things that are happening, then the money train goes away. Anyway, that went in a completely different... Okay. So I am going to... Nicole and Eli are back now. So I'm going to go tuck my dad into bed. I love you guys. I hope I didn't rant too long. And if you know me, you know that's an impossibility. You get me on a rabbit, I'm all in, that sort of thing. But I just want you guys to take that away from this show. everything with an R behind its name, it's not a Republican. Or maybe they are. And maybe I'm not a Republican. And maybe you aren't either. I'll leave it at that. God bless. Good night. Leon Francis, Blackbeard Logic, Guns in the 701 Network.